So there I was on a spooky Halloween night. It was around midnight and I was watching TV. The TV was so bright, it was like going to sleep in a car and then waking up with the sun in your eyes. So I decided to get up and turn it off. I wanted to sleep, but I couldn't. It was hard to. I remember going to sleep so easily. You don't remember falling asleep. I miss those days. My eyes were getting heavy. I quickly turned over and went to sleep. I woke up with a headrest. I heard a real big loud bang. I quickly turned on the light, and it was my sister.
You scared the death out of me.
Well, we're supposed to go to the party, so.
Stop it.
It was great. Her friend Casey is like most of everybody, was the loudest and obnoxious person of all. I could tell this was going to be a long night. When we got there, there were no... Stop.
Just stop. Where are we going?
When we got there, there were no lights. There was just a lamp and a room where a window had been cracked. Next to that, a grandfather clock. It read 3 a.m. We just sat around talking until I heard a noise. It sounded like footsteps. I went up the old creaking stairway to a hallway. It was, I could barely see where I was going. I stopped when I saw someone. She was young. And pale. She had long black hair and lifeless eyes.
Oh, what are you doing here? Do you live here?
It was a pointless talking to her. She just sat there, and suddenly I realized she was a ghost. As I stared at her lifeless eyes, I backed away. I started running. I wasn't going to stay here. I'd have to be insane to do that. I ran as fast as I could. My sister Maddie had joined me, and her friend had fell down the stairs back there and was not coming with us. Running the house never ended. I felt like I've been running for hours. We finally stopped. My sister was gone. Where did she go? It was just me. We could not find the door anymore. It was day. I looked for her. And why is everything vanishing? Suddenly everything got blurry. I wasn't feeling very good. I felt a hand on my back. I passed out. I could not feel anything in my body. My eyes slowly shut. Then I woke up and was in my room. The TV was still on. Had it all been a dream?
Today we were going to discuss the Spooky Story Project in November 2014, and today we have Ms. Sarah Lauryn.
Hello.
Alrighty, I'm going to give you 5 questions to answer, and I hope you can answer them very assertively. Give me one meaning of the adjectives. What does adjectives mean?
It modifies a noun.
Can you give me an adjective that has been listed in the story?
Well,
Like your
midnight party.
yeah. Can you give me some dialogue rules and examples of dialogue in the story?
Well, in dialogue, the only line I basically say in the story is, "We have to go to the party."
Okay, and what were you doing when you said that line?
Well, I was
Waving your finger. Yeah. Alrighty. Well, tell me some of the meanings of adverbs and give me one in the story.
Well, adverbs like they compare something, like in the story, the lifeless eyes.
Well, give me a meaning of the key vocabulary words found in the story. Like, what were you?
Like me, I was Maddie, his sister, and the ghost.
to those. How did you enjoy those parts?
Because I'm finding it for a moment, but yeah.
I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and if you'll just explain them to me. Why is it important to include in your story the sense of touch, hearing, sight, and smell in your writing?
Well, without the 5 senses, there'd be no story. Because touch, seeing what you feel, hearing, the creepy noises you hear in the closet, stuff like that. Especially the loud bang, Because you hear the loud bang.
What effect does narrative writing have in your story? Interesting story.
Interesting story. Well, it was really good. It had a really good twist to it.
Narrative writing. Alrighty, well, I'm glad to meet you, Miss Sarah Martin. This is Miss Sarah Martin on Spooky Story Fantastic. Spooky Story Project coming to you by Lauryn. Alright, today we have Mr. Colby Nelson, and we're going to discuss 5 questions of your spooky story. So, give me a meaning of an adjective.
Adjective modifies the noun.
Okay. Can you give me some dialogue rules and examples of dialogue in your story?
Dialogue, the main character, Tristan, the main character in our story, he woke up and said, "You scared me half to death." And his sister came in there and said, "Are you ready for the party?" while shaking her finger.
Well, what was the meaning of the key vocabulary words found in narrative writing? Like, what were you?
I was the narrator, and the narrator is supposed to tell the story when the characters are not in dialogue.
Alright. I'm going to ask you an address of one of the essential questions discussed in Miss Clement's English class. Anyways, why is it important to include the sense of touch, hearing, sight, and smell in your writing?
Because it is important because you wouldn't have a story, because the hearing, the big bang, the sense, you turn on the light, see your sister, see that little girl in the hallway with a white cloak on, and that's why the 5 senses are important in the story.
Alright, and here's another question. What effect does narrative writing have on your story? Well, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you, Mr. Colby Nelson.
While waiting on people to do stuff, you don't need to be laying